Thank you. Okay, let's begin the public participation portion of the meeting. And the first name on the list is Jim Sage.
This is a question to Mr. Cork. On March 17th, I requested an Oprah request regarding a copy of the legal fees charged to the district by the board's legal firm associated with defending the district against former teacher. Well, I guess he's not a former, he's still a current teacher, but just suspended, with Mr. Daniel Flynn. On the 17th, he got back to me and said that he would get back to me within a week. He didn't. Am I going to get this information? Am I going to get this information?
Mr. Sage, we'll answer your questions.
All right, so then the question is, am I going to get this information and when? Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, I just have a point of order. Is Daniel Flynn still?
No.
He's not.
Mr. Flynn is out of your system. Mr. Flynn has been dismissed from the system. Mr. Flynn has given up his certificate of teaching. He is no longer involved in any way, period.
I just want the amount of the legal bills in this case.
Thank you. Gloria Close.
Good evening. The March 22 board meeting was significant to most of us. The public hearing on the proposed budget was to be heard and open for discussion. The attention, however, was shifted to chaos orchestrated by the rumors spread on the Facebook and within the Howell High School that FFAC will be eliminated. The scare tactic did draw parents, students, and ex-students to come out in that forsaken weather. From what I gathered, they were told to show up in full force to appeal to the administration and the board not to cancel FFAC. First, a statement that came out of Mr. Wasser indicated the program was not in jeopardy of being removed. I believe the administration, Mr. Wasser, the board president, Mr. Lawson, who is the rep of Howell, and the principal of Howell, Dina Duerbig, were fully aware that the program was not in jeopardy. It was a terrific show, though. Mr. Wasser needed an audience who would cheer, stand up and down, applaud him when he made his announcement that he is resigning, and when he made an attack to those who come forward to speak up. Shame on you, Mr. Wasser.
Shame on you, Mrs. Close.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Lawson and the principal, Mrs. Duerbig, for this fiasco. What's funny was when I walked in, I was ecstatic to see the crowd. I was thankful that finally the parents are out to protest what is happening in this district. I asked the principal of Howell if the students are performing since it was a budget time. She just gave me a look. Manalapan has the highest rate of tax increase. As a resident, there is no way I can support that increase knowing what has been going on in the district. How our tax money was spent foolishly on things that do not affect the students' education. I was very involved in the budget process and learned nothing. The objective of that process was just to get suggestions from the taxpayers, which I felt were unheard by the administration. Too much time was wasted. March 22nd was not enough to open it up to the taxpayers to understand the budget, especially it was clouded by the FFAC fiasco. We have to see more reductions from the administration's office and some givebacks from their bloated salaries and all their bloated perks. Mr. Wasser, you have a very limited time now to serve the Freehold Regional High School. I urge that you live in peace and not stir any more commotions to get sympathy. Hang on to that little respect left here. You might have done some good in the district, but unfortunately, you will be remembered for what took place in this district 2 years ago. Mrs. Evangelista, we have not forgotten you. You have not paid back the district, nor have shown any remorse by apologizing to the students and taxpayers of this district. And please give my message to Mr. De Graaf and Lanza. I question the board when the search for the superintendent principal of Marlborough, and the replacement of the law firm will start, or have they started yet? By June of this year. We hope this district can move forward in a positive way. It has long been overdue. Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Musser.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Well, it's always wonderful to hear from you.
Leon Cirone?
Leon Cirone, Ben Albert. I was just wondering, when are we going to hear the end result of what the budget cuts are? We've been reading in the paper almost every day the reports from the different districts about how they are handling the budget cuts. Who is taking salary cuts, who's taking salary freezes, whether the school boards are opening up the contracts with the teachers. I thought that this meeting was going to cover that. And so I'm just wondering, when are we going to hear that, since the vote for the budget is coming up soon? And the other thing, Mr. Watson, you are continuing to disgrace yourself to the public by making these comments to the public that's uncalled for, and your legacy is continuing to follow you right until the end.
Thank you. I appreciate your comments.
I'm sure.
Thank you.
Rhoda Cirone?
I'm going to pass. I was going to speak about the propaganda FPAC fiasco last time, but it was covered. Thank you.
Thank you. Helen Hochberg?